Oh, wait. Hold on. I screwed it up already, man. I screwed it up already.
What have you done?
I forgot to bring the microphone over here.
Oh, man.
Again.
Every goddamn week, man. That's funny, because,
Again.
we'll sit here for, 20 minutes before the show starts, and it's like, do we have everything? Okay, is the intro video reset?
Is everything good?
Is it good?
It's good, man.
It's good. It's great. It's grand. It's wonderful. Guys.
She's good.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Episode 19 of Slightly Original. My name's PJ.
My name's Scott.
This is episode 19, basically PlayStation.
It is basically PlayStation because today was the PlayStation Experience
Hey-o!
thing where they had that giant, it's in San Diego, right?
San Diego. Wales vagina.
Yeah, that's quite. So yeah, that was the PlayStation Experience is a thing they do every year where they basically drop all their first party stuff and say, hey, look at us, we make cool stuff too.
Yes, buy our shit, please.
Please buy our shit. So in previous things there have been, presentations, not just Sony, but otherwise that have been kind of lacking in excitement. But this time around, there was some great stuff out there. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show.
Roll tape.
All right, so there it is. It happened.
The intro.
The intro. So what we're doing, again, like we said in the beginning, this is Slightly Original. It is a weekly talk show here on Twitch TV with myself and my esteemed colleague, Philip J. Peage.
Philip J. Peage.
Philip J. Peage.
Hello.
So we talk about video games, right? That's basically what we do. We've been doing this for the last 19 weeks. It's been fun. It's been a good experience. We got a lot of really great people who have supported us throughout the last 19 weeks of what we've been doing. So we just want to start the episode off with saying thank you so much, everybody who's out there. We've got Thorn of Borg has been here pretty much since the beginning. Undeck Puma, your dad, Fair 2A1. So thank you everybody who comes back every week to watch our show. We wouldn't be doing it if you weren't coming every weekend. So thank you so much.
We love you.
So starting off, the PlayStation Experience happened today. That was in San Diego, California. It was, again, like we mentioned in the beginning, it is Sony's big reveal for the year. This last year, in June at E3, Sony didn't really have a whole lot going on. They didn't really, bring it as they have in previous E3s. Same thing.
So much, yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with other, venues. So it seems like with Xbox and PlayStation, they have sort of kind of reeled back a little bit from industry shows and kind of are starting to do their own thing, which I think is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's like there's too many events to go to.
Right.
And
too many to keep track of. Yeah.
Exactly. With that being said, they really brought it this year. Unfortunately, I had forgot it was today, so I was out and about. And then PJ texted me. I was probably at Chipotle. This episode brought to you by Chipotle.
Chipotle. Future diarrhea.
Future
Coming
diarrhea.
to you soon.
It hurts when I poop. So he texted me and he goes, what'd you say?
I said, oh man, I gotta look at the exact text.
No, it was like you like in caps like texted me Left 4 Dead, or not Left 4 Dead, but Last of Us 2 or Last of Us Part 2. So that was the probably the biggest reveal that we had, or that we were excited for. What was it?
Bro, The Last of Us Part 2, holy fucking fuck.
Yeah, holy fucking fuck. Yeah, no, it was very exciting. So he was watching it. I had to catch up later on. I watched most of the trailers for the big reveals, and we picked out a couple that we felt were our favorites, right? So this is not an all-inclusive list for what happened at the PlayStation Experience. For that,
these are the ones that stuck out the most.
Exactly. For that, you can go and Google PlayStation Experience 2016, And yeah, Last of Us 2. We're about to watch the trailer here in a minute,
watch the trailer with you.
With you. We're going to do it all together. So, it was very, a lot of great stuff. But let's start off with the first thing that is on our list of things to talk about. They had announced that Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, is coming out. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit on that. So they originally announced this at E3. They announced they were going to be doing this. Now, they said, we're not going to be, like, rebooting the series. Now, that's... I mean, they might still do that. They could. But as of right now, they're rebooting or not rebooting, remastering the first 3.
Right.
So, they look great.
Oh yeah, they look real good.
They look really good, and in addition to that, they're also adding Crash to Skylanders, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So another Activision game because I think Activision owns the rights to it. But anyway, so I think it looks great. I think Crash is a great game. Scott was saying, I'm not gonna steal your thunder.
No, you're good, man.
No, I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna
just
say
it.
You say it. You say it later.
Okay.
So Crash was one of those first games that I played on PlayStation. My first game was Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
That's what like initiated me into like holy fuck, you know. In addition to Final Fantasy VII, that's like holy fuck. Games are art. Games aren't just for me to just sit around and just waste my summer away. Games are immersive. They are a fantastic fucking experience. So. Crash, I wouldn't say is on the same caliber as that.
Sure,
but it's definitely the humor is funny.
It's a silly game. I mean, it was never meant to be taken seriously. I mean, it's a silly game.
What was the thing that that would like give you? It's like a shield, right? And it would hover around you, and it would say "Hoobadaga."
Yeah, it was like a mask. It was like a tiki mask.
Yeah. Hoobadaga. I don't know. I always thought that was funny when he would say "Hoobadaga." But anyway,
I just want real quick shout out to Mighty Kale and Boss Alyssa.
Yeah, hey guys.
What's up, Kale? And thanks, Alyssa. Appreciate that. The new background is not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, we're switching it up a little bit. We got some, just trying to keep it fresh.
Yeah,
keeping it fresh.
There's more stuff coming down. We're gonna make it look a little bit more pro. That's basically the idea. Is we're trying to make it look.
We're gonna make it full 3D.
We're not doing that.
We're coming to your homes.
Yeah, we're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna break into your house.
Yeah,
you'll
we're
come home.
We're gonna do the show on your couch.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, Crash Bandicoot. It's a remaster of the old games.
Tell us your thoughts. What's Crash Bandicoot to you? The significance.
So it's kind of cool, actually. And we talked about this before, but when I was a young buck and PlayStation had just come out, I had begged my mom to go to. Yeah, it was Blockbuster. We went to Blockbuster and rented a PlayStation. And this was back when you could rent consoles. Remember video stores?
Yeah, we talked about this before. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, we rented an N64 from Blockbuster like when it first came out.
Come over to Agor's house. I don't know, maybe. So, yeah, I mean, I went there, and at that time, there were only so many games out for it. So, yeah, we got Crash Bandicoot, and that was the first game I ever played, and it was freaking awesome. And what was cool is, because I haven't really thought about that since, the mid-90s when PlayStation came out, and when they did the reveal trailer today for the remaster, and the music was playing, I immediately was like, the nostalgia. I could feel it deep inside of me.
Yeah.
So it was very exciting. I mean, that, and there's another game we're going to talk about here in a minute that was very, pivotal to my, like you said, when you kind of made that realization that video games are art, it's storytelling, it's not just, bleep bloops and pongs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or, there was substance to it. There was something more to video games than just colors and dots and stuff like that. So, it was, kind of one of those, one of those milestone memories from early days of myself video gaming. So, hey Ted, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Our good friend B Ted, who is with Operation Supply Drop. He's a real good dude. We were hanging out at E3 actually together. So he is a nice guy. I like him a lot. And he was the one. His wife, Sarah, actually had waited in line at the TwitchCon for me to get that Twitch hoodie for me.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I'm so jealous of that hoodie.
Yes.
I love that hoodie.
It's super comfy.
Shouts out.
Yeah, Ted's a good dude.
So Scott brought up nostalgia and the nostalgia factor of Crash Bandicoot, and one of the things that we've talked about quite a bit on the show is the the cloud of nostalgia, if you
Sure.
will, which is what I like to refer to it as, where it's like the fog of war, only like the fog of 20 years of, well, maybe like 10 years of binge drinking. You know,
Sure,
like
yeah.
like GoldenEye, for instance, we've talked about that quite a bit. You know, that game fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's garbage.
That game fucking sucks, right? Going back and playing Crash Bandicoot, because I got it on PS3. It came out as like a PlayStation 1 classic or whatever, and I got it, and it fucking sucks. It's just not. The platforming is subpar.
Sure.
I don't know. For me, at least, I don't know.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, you know,
it's all good.
And I wouldn't say it fucking sucks, but it's definitely it's not one of those games that really stands the test of time. So I'm hoping, in addition to the remastering, making it look better, that they tighten up the controls a little bit and make it.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, so that's one of those things that I hope in remasters, that they don't like completely like leave it alone, that they kind of assist it, I guess. So that's pretty
Right.
much it. That's the end of my thoughts.
So another remaster game that was announced today is Paw Rapper the Rapper. So for those of you who do not, kick punch, it's all in the mind. There's no way to describe Paw Rapper the Rapper, so let me bring up a Paw Rapper the Rapper video, because that is the only way to kind of... It's a music game, right? But it's one of those music games kind of in the early days of... before Rock Band and before Guitar Hero and all that stuff, you had your controller and you basically would just go along with the beat and
Tap different buttons.
Tap different buttons based off of, what was going on at that time or what they asked you to do. There it is. All right, so we are going to be watching someone's video who clearly... Yeah, ooh, let me tighten this up a little bit. Why does it do that? Why are you doing this?
Because now we're like stretched. What the fuck? Just leave it. Just leave it.
Just leave it?
Just leave it. Doesn't matter, man.
It's this keep aspect ratio nonsense. So...
See, I had a thumbtack. I don't know what the fuck I did with it.
Yeah, you know who messed that up? It was your good pal Walter. That's who messed that up.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Kat. There you
Shouts
go.
out to her.
I got it. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Dude.
All right. So, yeah, hold on. Let me,
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
This is how we roll, guys. All right? This is how we roll. Okay.
Oh my god. That stinks, man.
Yeah. Need more Paw Rapper, exactly. So, Paw Rapper the Rapper. Pretty much the best game ever been made. I'm just kidding.
The original rhythm game. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it is almost like the original rhythm game.
Yeah,
it
at least
was
like the most like popular original rhythm game. I'm sure there were ones before it.
Sure.
Pong.
Boop. Boop. Okay, why is this not working?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so
this is good. It's not working.
no, it's okay. I can talk.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, just talk for a minute. I'm gonna fix this.
that's fine. So
I got this.
So they announced a lot of other games. They went pretty much through PS4, and they also were showing some games for PlayStation VR, which we are huge supporters of PlayStation VR. We're very excited for it.
Very excited for it.
And they showed
Still playing it too.
Yeah, we're still playing it. We were actually just playing it earlier tonight. So I'm really excited to see like what they have coming out.
There it
we
is.
go. Coming out for this next year. So all right, here we go.
Okay, so this is Paw Rapper the Rapper.
So from kick to now kick. Punch. Chop.
This is gonna bring me back in.
Block.
Remember, I never actually
Once more now kick.
Punch.
Chop. And block. Don't get cocky. It's gonna get rocky. We're gonna move down to the next jockey now.
Good.
Block.
As long as you guys can hear it.
Jump.
So anyway, this is Paw Rapper the Rapper. That's fine. All done with that. So, yeah. So anyway, that's Paw Rapper the Rapper. Very fun game. And so, yeah, they announced that they're doing a remaster of that today. So that's pretty good. I'm stoked with it, or about it, I should say. I mean, I really enjoyed it when I was, a young lad in, back home in New York, skipping school to play PlayStation all day.
Toast McGoats.
Word up. So, so another game that was announced today that seems to be there were some new titles announced, which is very good. So
yeah, a lot of indies.
A lot of indies.
So I'm happy to see. I love seeing indies, man. I love indie games.
Exactly. So one of the indie games that was, for my money, the most visually interesting game that was announced today. It is called What Remains of Edith Finch. So What Remains of Edith Finch is a collection of short stories about a cursed family in Washington State, brought to you by Giant Sparrow, the studio responsible for the surreal first-person painting game, The Unfinished Swan.
Art.
It's
Artsy.
art. It's arty. It's about a young girl who you're going through different rooms in a house. They're bedrooms, okay? And all the bedrooms are very... it's surreal. It's weird. It's just weirdness, right? But it's like dreamscapes. And she's telling the story of her life or her family or something like that. It was really kind of vague in the trailer, but it was interesting art. It was it also seemed to be interesting storytelling by using the surrealist sort of movement to tell an interesting story about dreams and death and things like that. So What Remains of Edith Finch, I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm probably going to play it just because I enjoy that type of visually interesting art styles. I just like that kind of stuff because that's how I roll.
Yeah.
And did you watch the trailer for it?
No, I did not.
No,
I can check it out later. Sounds interesting enough, man. A lot
Yeah.
of the games that I saw, I mean, even though like they showed some trailers for like shit that I already like Gravity Rush. If you guys haven't played Gravity Rush, it was a game that released on the PlayStation Vita.
Sure.
It's kind of mind bending. You jump around, you bend gravity to jump around maps, and it's like action adventure. So it's a lot of fun. But they're coming out with that so on PS4, so it looks cool.
Yeah.
What else do we have here? So we have what's this?
Absolver. All right, so Absolver is a third-person sort of action fighting game. It almost seems like it's a multiplayer game. That was something they wanted to make sure that was kind of everybody took away from it, is that it is a action combat martial arts / melee type game. Basically, Absolver puts players behind the mask of a prospect who has taken a sacred vow and chosen to join the Absolvers, an elite corps of combatants fighting to maintain stability in the world. So you're just basically, it's a multiplayer game, you're just going to go and beat the crap out of each other. But it was very martial arts-y. Not a word, but that's okay, it is now. It was very like people kicking and doing like flips and shit in the air. It's a fighting game, but it's not like the traditional 2D side-scrolling, like beat 'em up, like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or something like that. It's in a three-dimensional space.
So like Dragon Ball Z's universe.
Okay, I never played that, but if that's what that's like, I mean,
That's what it sounds like.
it's yeah, I mean, it seems like an action game. More or less, so that's going to be pretty cool. I mean, I like the trailer for it. It looked interesting. I mean, the story kind of seems lacking, but at least the graphical qualities and just the.
Can I say something?
No, you can't. I'm still talking.
All right. Well, guess what?
No, I'm just kidding. What's up,
man? Because I'm going to lose the thought.
Okay, go.
There's too many fighting games. I'm sick of fucking fighting games. Man.
But it's not like a traditional fighting game.
Right? No. I'm not saying. I'm not using that as. I'm just using that as a jumping off point to say that I'm fucking sick of seeing fighting games. There's just too goddamn many of them, and there's too many fucking variations of them. Stop. We need Street Fighter. Give us Street Fighter. Give us Tekken. Mm-hmm. Maybe a Marvel vs. Capcom, which they also announced. Marvel vs. Capcom. It's got to be 4 now. Infinite is what it's called. Right. But the trailer has Mega Man in it, which looks fucking awesome. And they had Ryu, and then Iron Man, and then what's her name? Somebody else from Marvel. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh okay. Oh, I really like the graphic design. Oh, that's phenomenal! Wow.
Okay, let's take a minute. Let's take a minute, guys, and
sit right there, and I'll tell you all about how I became the prince of town called Bel Air.
My explanation of this wasn't that good. Okay, honestly, it wasn't that good. So let's go ahead and just watch this trailer real quick.
And Thorne, I saw your comment before we switched.
Sure.
Marvel vs. That's why I brought up Marvel vs. Capcom, and other than that, man, and Tekken exactly. That's why I brought up Tekken. And maybe Mortal Kombat too, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I don't play them very often that I throw shade, but I'm
sure. You're good, man. All right, so let's watch this trailer. There are some story aspects of it, but just look at the it's a gameplay trailer, so it should be pretty good.
I'm excited. Dvulvar.
Yeah. So I like the graphics. I mean, it's like cell shaded
Beautiful.
ish.
Oh, it's
You know,
beautiful. Now, is this in engine or is this like a cinematic?
this is an engine.
Okay. 88 frames. Okay,
So it was really kind of poorly explained because it's like an adventure game and you're running around. You're not just
okay.
Not
How
just
would you?
fighting.
Yeah, you explained it as well as you could. I don't really know how I would explain that. And then you have the golden ball of ballness.
The golden ball of ballness. Now, so this is probably a cinematic. This looks a little bit more polished.
Super Smash. All right, I take my comment back. Fighting games can stay.
Right.
Absolver from Dvulvar.
Uh-oh. There's a reveal of some sort of super enemy.
Some sort of scary thing that we have no context about, but okay.
Right. It's super scary.
Spooky.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty exciting. I mean, it looks cool. I think it looks like a very cool game.
It looks beautiful. I'm really into that, actually.
Yeah, I definitely, when I saw it, I was like, oh, because I kind of thought a fighting game too. I was like, I'm not really super into fighting games. But then it kind of reminded me of, what the hell's the name of that game? Vagrant Story?
Vagrant Story.
Yeah, Vagrant Story was pretty good.
Pretty cool stuff. Super Smash. You know what's funny is I was just thinking about this before we started the show. There was a Super Smash type game that Sony put out, PlayStation All Stars.
Oh yeah.
Did you play that?
I never played it, but I remember it because it had Cloud in it, didn't it?
No.
No.
No,
is that
it sure
Smooch?
didn't.
Okay, never
No,
mind.
it didn't. No.
Then no, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was Super Smash Bros, but like with PlayStation characters.
Okay.
With like Nathan Drake and Kratos and Cooking Mama and like I don't know, just any PlayStation character you can think of.
Right. Okay. So was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was out on the Vita and it was out on the PS3, and then you could like cross play against them, and then you could use your Vita as like a controller for the PS3. But I thought it was fucking great. It didn't review so well. It didn't sell. Mm-hmm. They had some DLC for it, but I thought it was fucking awesome. So if you guys played PlayStation All Stars, shout out in the comments. Tell us what you thought about it.
Hey, Shady Spaniard, thank you so much for the follow.
For the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, moving on from Absolver.
All right, moving on to the final game in what we were interested in. Hey, Basil.
Just in time.
Yeah, you got here just in time. So for the PlayStation experience, the coup de grace, so to speak, is, of course, The Last of Us Part 2. Now, we're going to start off with the trailer for The Last of Us Part 2, okay? We're going to show the trailer, and then we're going to talk about our thoughts. So, a moment of silence for...
Yeah, just, guys, I'm telling you, just sit back.
Just sit back.
Relax. If you haven't seen this, even if you have seen it, I've already watched it like 5 times today. Just watch. Just sit and watch.
All right.
And watch. Yeah. Don't even look at us.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this.
No, leave us because I want to see our reactions.
shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell on this earth forevermore. Said I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of the right because I'm wrong. No, I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong.
What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this?
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
Part 2.
Part 2.
So yeah, I mean,
my fuck! Stop that video from playing real quick.
I'm just gonna get out of it completely.
Oh my fuck! All right, so right off the bat, that was what they used to close out the PlayStation experience earlier. They were like, "Hey, thanks for watching." Blah blah blah. Oh, and by the way, one of our developers. This is a game still in development, and one of our developers wanted to show this. So here you go as your special treat. Thanks so much for watching. And then they started showing those like first screens, and I was like, oh, they've been talking about Last of Us 2 forever. There's no way they're gonna fucking show it now. And then they showed you could see the Firefly logo.
Yeah, I noticed as soon as you see the Firefly logo on the stop sign, you hear everybody in the crowd lose their
fucking shit.
Guys, I wish I watched it live because I would have started like, oh my god.
I told Scott this, and I'm not really, I don't really get emotional too often, especially for trailers. It doesn't really seem like that kind of like, like something that would evoke emotion like that. But the first game is such like an integral part to like my gaming experience. That's one of my favorite games. It's probably my favorite game of all time, and I've said that quite a bit. That's probably my favorite game. And to see that they're making a sequel, it's real. They've been talking about it, and it's real. Yeah. And Ellie's now 19. Joel is still alive. They're still on the hunt. They're still fucking doing it. And holy fuck.
I should have wrote this down because I was reading about it when we were doing the show notes. But
wing it.
The one of the people over at Naughty Dog, probably the creative director or the producers, the
Neil
director
Druckmann?
or something. Who?
Neil Druckmann?
I think it might have been Neil Druckmann.
I got you, man. Come on.
So yeah, it's a Rooster Teeth shout out. I'm wearing a Rooster Teeth shirt. But so he had said that if the first game was about love, right? So it's about Joel losing everything and then becoming hard. The world made him hard, and callous. And then he meets Ellie and he helps her through her journey, and then he's able to find love again after everything he's lost.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the overall theme of the first game. So he says, think of this part 2 as the reverse of that. Now it is not about love, it is about hate. And Ellie is going to be the primary character in the game now. In the first one, you were mostly Joel. There was a segment where you did play as Ellie.
Oh, yeah.
And in the DLC, you were Ellie as well.
Yeah.
But so yes, now you're primarily Ellie. Something's happened. They don't really just say what happened. Obviously, you saw in the trailer that there were a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
And Ellie is just hanging out,
jamming out
on the old guitar,
just completely just cold. It almost seems like.
Yeah, exactly. So through the years, after everything they've gone through, it seems like it is still just it's getting worse. They've got bad luck.
Yeah.
Joel and Ellie have got bad luck.
You got to think it's been what 5, 6, 7 years since the first game. At a certain point, like when does like food start running out? Like when do you start like running out of like places to find clean fresh water? Like when does it get to the point where like everything that like is trying to kill you is been killed? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, because that's kind of why.
I mean, if you go into like the realism of like the scenario, like obviously if there's a zombie apocalypse, then all the zombies are going to die, right? So this is obviously a fictional universe,
right?
That they're probably feeding on something.
But in The Last of Us, they're not zombies.
Right, they're
they have the fungus.
Yeah, the fungus. That's right.
Yeah, the corticoids.
I know what you're talking.
Yeah. I forget exactly what it is, but basically, it's a real thing. It's a real live parasitic fungus that gets into insects, and it basically controls their motor functions. So the insects are still alive, but it's the fungus that drives them. And usually, what it does is it gets into ants. And this is real science, kids, by the way. It gets into ants, and what it does is it forces them to go to the toppest. Yeah, cordyceps, that's what it is.
Cordyceps, yeah.
It forces the ant to go to the highest place it can go to so that the fungus can release its spores to infect more insects. And that is really how that works. That is a real thing. So it was interesting that they took something so very real in our world, but kind of twisted it to infect humans. I think that was brilliant. And I know we can talk about Last of Us all night. It is hands down my favorite game of the last generation. Absolutely. And even like this one, because I've got the remaster on PS4, and it is still like amazing.
And that's something that's actually brings us into like our first like sub point, this talking point here. And I would go as far as to say that it was the best PS3 game. I think you agree.
I completely would.
That was both of our favorite. That was at least in our opinion the best game on PS3. And what's unfortunate about it is that it came so late in the PS3's life cycle that you had like Uncharted 3 Masterpiece, another Naughty Dog. You had the Uncharted series. You had, I don't know, I can't really think of any. I mean, like I played Mass Effect, but that wasn't really like a PS3 exclusive. But this was like it, man. This was like the pinnacle of like the PS3 life cycle. You had fucking Last of Us, right?
Sure.
And Basil earlier said she needs a PS4 for The Last of Us. Now, I would never condone buying a console specifically to play one game,
but do it.
But in this one, and this is the only, this and Halo are the only specific instances that I would ever go as far as to say that I would purchase a console to play one fucking game. And The Last of Us it'll blow your fucking mind, man.
Yeah, and I would even go as far as to say that buy a PlayStation for the Last of Us remastered, but there's a lot of other games out there for PlayStation that are really good. You have the Nathan Drake collection on PlayStation.
Yeah, 4. exactly.
But that would be
Naughty Dog.
Right, exactly. More Naughty. There's a theme here.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, this episode brought to you by Naughty Dog. But what I would say is that if you were to buy a PlayStation 4, you would be doing yourself a massive disservice if you did not get The Last of Us remastered.
Yeah.
And it's been out for a bit, so you can get it cheap. It's not a full $60 game now. You can probably get it for like $20-$30.
I think it is like $20 now.
Right, so I would definitely do that. But yes, it is one of the most like perfect examples of storytelling.
Yeah.
I think not just in the video game genre, but in movies, television, books. Hands down, the best. Story.
It's the pacing is perfect. It gives you those high points of like there's like morale, right? And they're happy, and then it like that it all changes and somebody dies that like was like integral to the story, right? And then like a fucking kid dies. And I'm not going to spoil the game because if you haven't played it, you're really, really missing out. But
absolutely.
I'm not going to spoil it because it's one of those games that you have to really just experience. So I'm just going to say, if you haven't played it, if you have a PS4, get it. Find someone with a PS4 and fucking get it and play it on their PS4, or buy one yourself because you're truly missing out on one of the greatest games of all time.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that statement. They did not announce anything about multiplayer.
No.
Now, this isn't the first announcement of the game. Nolan North, who played... what was that creepy cannibal guy's name? You know what I'm talking about with the beard and stuff?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, so Nolan North played a character in the first one, and him and Troy Baker are like in tons of games together.
Oh, yeah.
So he had actually let slip last year that they were making a Last of Us 2. So it's not that this is new news, but this is the first official announcement from Naughty Dog and Sony.
And it's not like The Last of Us 2. I like that they named it The Last of Us
Part 2. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like the subheading there.
Yeah.
I think it fits perfectly.
And something we noticed too is that if you guys have played The Last of Us,
Oh, you know what? Actually, let me bring that back up real quick because I want to show it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, continue.
well, I was gonna say, so when you spin up The Last of Us on PS3 and the remastered on PS4, the cabin guy,
Yeah, the cabin guy, exactly. That's Nolan. That's played by Nolan North.
the menu screen starts off in this room, and we'll show you. Now, I don't really know what the connection is here because I never really understood because you never really come to that room in the game. But we're gonna show it right now. This is the menu in the first game, and the first game takes place 7 years before this happens. So I'm assuming that they had already written the general idea and the general kind of story arc for the game, and they had an understanding and idea of what they were going to take the game or where they were going to take the game beyond the first one. Because I guarantee you, they knew that game was going to fucking
Exactly.
blow
So if you
dicks
come
off.
back to this part right here, so you notice right here, so you can see my little
yeah, you can see the pointer.
my pointer right here. This is the beginning. Yeah, like you said, the title screen of the first game. So you have this window open with all this overgrown ivy and plant life and all that, and
those
even the
distinctive
furniture.
curtains.
Exactly, the curtains that are all messed up. It kind of blows in the wind, and then
Can we find can we pull up the menu or the
Sure.
menu from The Last of Us and kind of compare it? I think that'd be really cool, actually.
Let's do that. Let's go into YouTube. Ugh.
There it is. Yeah, I mean,
Right
it looked eerily similar, right?
Exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the-
it's not exactly, but it's close enough.
It's close enough, right? So I don't know
Right.
if there's like a connection or something with that, but I don't know.
It's
Either way,
close enough. Definitely close
It
enough.
was
It's the
something
same,
that kinda, yeah.
the same theme, the same kind of even the ivy coming through the window. It is definitely
Something that popped out.
yeah, something that we definitely noticed. Actually, PJ noticed it the second time around. So that's
Go back to the first one, just to
right.
see.
So this is it right here, and then this is kind of the room that she's in.
Yeah.
So it's not exact, but
Either way, it's something. It's something.
they're
I don't
too
know.
similar for it to be a coincidence.
Right. Exactly. So
So.
that's cool. I don't know. I just thought that was a little cool, like kind of thing that popped out to me while we were watching
Absolutely.
it. So there you go,
All right,
guys.
cool.
So that is, and
That's a little thing right there for you.
Jen, yeah, you missed the trailer. Definitely check it out on YouTube. It would behoove you to check it out on YouTube. And I know you don't have a PS4, but definitely research that game and check it out because it's never coming to Xbox.
No, it will never come to Xbox. So
Unfortunately
you're
for all
gonna
you Xbox guys, Basil, you especially, pick up that PS4. And what did you say about the Scott screen, the first one? Like, wow, no, this is one. Yeah, PSVR 2. Yeah, we were playing PSVR earlier today.
So that is an excellent segue because today was announced, and I didn't write any of the games down.
That's okay.
But there were PSN or PlayStation Network, for those playing the home game, versions of games that were announced but released today. So they were like, hey, we got games that you can play right now. And one of them was Surgeon Simulator on the VR. So we were playing Surgeon Simulator on the VR earlier. And while the game is, for those of you who haven't played Surgeon Simulator, it's a really fun game.
Yes, let's give our thoughts about the non-VR, and then we'll give our thoughts about
Right.
the VR. So the non-VR Surgeon Simulator is a quirky, just kind of like goofy adventure where it's not really an adventure. You literally you're a fucking clumsy surgeon. One button controls 3 fingers, another button controls your pointer, and then you have to do a surgery, take out a heart, replace I don't know, you don't replace a dick, but maybe there's a dick mission. I don't know.
There could be Dick DLC.
Could be Dick DLC coming up. So check it out, guys. You heard it here first.
It's called DDLC.
DDLC.
Putting that on a shirt.
Did they have like a boob job one?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've done the heart, the lungs, There's one. Isn't there a brain surgery one?
Can you blow out your butthole?
Yeah.
Can you like blow it out? Can you get a replacement butthole? Guys, if you know a doctor, or your parents are a doctor, make sure go wake them up right now.
Ask him if you can blow your
and
butthole
ask
out,
him if you can
get a new
blow
one.
your butthole out, 1, and 2, if it can be replaced with a rubber band. Shout out in the comments. So yeah, so yeah, it's a fun game, man. Surgeon Simulator, the non-VR. So Scott,
Right.
give your thoughts about the VR Surgeon Simulator.
Okay, so as soon as it was announced, we were like, oh, fuck yes. And I was on my way home, and PJ he bought it. So when we started playing it when I got home, the controls are very not good.
Let me just say this. It fucking sucks.
It does suck.
It fucking sucks.
sucks.
I'm not gonna. I wish we could play it on Co-op Calamity, but
If they patch the controls, we'll play it on
we
Co-op
will
Calamity.
play the fuck out of it because it's a fantastic game in the vanilla form, right? But the
Right.
VR, for some reason, they could not figure out the controls because like Job Simulator, it's the same kind of setup. You have move controller, and you're looking at your hands on the screen, and you have there's a very detailed sort of what's it called, calibration to set up the room, and then you're good to go. And then
Right.
it's fucking solid. You're good to go. You can stand up, you can sit down. It fucking got you.
Yeah, when we were trying to calibrate the VR headset, it didn't make any sense because what it does is in the middle of the screen it shows like, hey, this is where your body should be, and then they have like a little yellow indicator for your face, and this is like, hey, you're supposed to line it up. I could not line it up, no matter how hard I tried. And then when I went into the first surgery, the controls were like, because usually with the VR you can push out, right? You can push out and it works, it makes sense, and then you can pull back in. There's depth of field, with being able to grab shit. But it only goes about like say Office. What is it?
The Ass Man?
Job Simulator.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading
The Ass Man. Job Simulator, you can reach all the way out. Speaking of asses, you can reach all the way out and push in and grab whatever you need and then bring it back. But it's almost like with Surgeon Simulator, you have T-Rex arms. Because as soon as you reach out all the way, it's like it doesn't register your hand anymore. Even though you're within the scope.
The camera can
Right,
see
the
you.
camera can still see
all
you.
the camera needs to see is the light on the end of the fucking controller. And it loses its mind. And then even when you are trying to do like little delicate operations, like even just picking up a fucking scalpel and you have your hand turned like this and you're hitting the trigger and it's using these fingers right here to right, trying to pick up a scalpel and it loses track of your hand. And what I was saying to Scott is Bossa Studios is known for putting out games that have like wonky controls on purpose because it's funny.
Right, they did Octodad, didn't they?
I'm not sure if they did Octodad, but I know they did Bread, the bread game. I Am
Right,
Bread,
right. Where you're a piece of bread?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a piece of bread. Yeah. So they are known for making games that like have wonky controls, and that shit's funny. That's fun. It's funny to watch. It's funny to play.
Right.
And Octodad from. Just go to Wikipedia. Young Horses. DePaul. Yeah, from Young Horses Inc. So,
Young Horses?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not Bossa Studios.
But it's the same kind of just
It's the
weird.
same
It's
kind
weird.
of same kind of like goofy control scheme. So I said to him, I was like, well, maybe it's like they intentionally did like goofy controls on it, to just kind of keep in line with like, their shtick. But the more we were playing it, the camera kept losing track of us, and I've never had that issue with any other game on VR to this point. So I went in and I tried recalibrating it. It didn't do a fucking thing. It's the game.
Right.
So, granted, it just released today. My thought is either A, they did that on purpose, in which case I want my fucking money back, or B, it's a new game. They just dropped it today. They announced it today and then released it about 2 hours after they announced it. So they might have been on a deadline and they might have been on a crunch and just kind of dumped it and then we'll patch it later. I don't know. Either way, it's shitty either way. And I was going to tweet at them earlier and try to get an explanation. Because I've played every game that I've played on there. I start off and you kind of get that like initial nausea.
Right.
That game,
it goes away. You get used to it.
Right. But Scott, you played.
Was so close to puking.
Like for an hour, he was like, "I don't even want. I just need to go."
I was like, "I gotta go lay down, man."
Because he thought he was gonna throw up for a fucking hour.
Yeah, it sucked because it was like what would happen is when I'm standing up doing the surgery, the camera was like trying to adjust, right? Now, when you have the VR headset on, you feel like you're in that room.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if your eyes were focusing, but when they focused, like if I'm looking at the TV and then I'm looking at the camera, because the camera's a little bit further away, my eyes jump forward, right? Like I zoom in a little bit.
Pop out of your
So what it was doing was I was zooming in, then I was zooming out, then I was zooming in, but it was real jerky motions. And yeah, I got really fucking nauseous from it. I mean, I was like burping up and stuff. I was like so fucking close.
It was fucking gross. I was like, dude, don't fucking
yeah, I was
puke on the VR.
But and that sucks because we've been playing VR a lot, and I've never got like that. Ever.
Yeah, we felt like pros, right? Because even
Yeah.
like Eve Valkyrie is that space combat simulator that we
It
talked
is.
about.
You're
And
always
that
like
is-
moving.
That
you're
is
going up,
that
you're
is
down.
probably the most nausea-inducing game on there,
And it was nothing like
nothing
what
even
happened
close
to
to
me
it. Because
today.
even I have a pretty strong constitution when it comes to these games, and it was like I had to turn it off. I was so fucking pissed because it's like that's a game that I put a lot of hours into Surgeon Simulator. Funny enough, because it's just kind of like a goofy game.
It's funny,
But it's funny.
It's funny, yeah.
And this, it could be so much better if they just fix the tracking.
yeah. If they could fix that part, which it could be, you know,
It's
a
not
software
hardware.
issue.
It's not hardware.
Yeah.
It's 100% software.
So please,
Yeah.
please, please, please,
Boston
please
Studios,
fix it.
guys, tweet at Boston Studios and let them know they need to fix their fucking game. Because I'm out $20 and I want an explanation why.
Tell them they give Scott a tummy ache.
Play Cleanup Vomit Simulator. Yeah, that's my least.
That's not a sim at that
That's-
point.
no,
That's real life.
That's not my favorite game. I don't like that game.
I
I'll play it
would
if
have cleaned
have
up my
to.
own puke after I took a nap. Because if I was cleaning up my own puke after I puked, I'd puke more, and it would just be puke on puke. It'd be pukeception. So, all right. So pukeception.
That's the next.
So
that's the
okay,
name of our
that
next
concludes our PlayStation experience portion for the show. We talked about the games we enjoyed. We showed some trailers. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's move on to some regular news. We got about 15 minutes left of the show.
Yep.
So let's talk about something we're interested in. Netflix is offering downloadable movies or shows for your devices for offline viewing.
Awesome, man! It's about goddamn time, Netflix.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stomach ache and T-Rex arms.
That's-
where
yeah,
that's where it's at, man.
Yeah, that should be the description of the game. Is we're not doing surgeries. We're just gonna make you fucking nauseous, and we're gonna give you short, tiny arms.
You know what though? Because you can get the 2-pack. You can get Vomit Simulator and Bucket Simulator.
Ooh, 2 for the price of 1,
Two for the price of one.
guys.
Hey, I made a joke. All right, so Netflix is now offering downloadable content, which is good because there are a lot of times where I'd like to watch some Netflix, but you know, either I have a crap signal or you know I just don't want to use up all my freaking data. That happened to me when I was at Fort Bliss. I had linked my tablet to my phone because I had a smaller phone at the time to use it for data, and
Yeah, keep going.
and I used up all of my data
Yeah.
in about an hour, and
Yeah.
that sucked because I still had probably 20 days left until I got to my next my next
And you're,
bit.
you're completely fucked.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I can't even check my email. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
Amazon Video is
Amazon-
doing devices too. Okay,
And that's
cool.
what I'm saying. We've talked about that before too. That's one of my favorite features of Amazon Video is the fact that you can download pretty decent movies to your phone and then watch them offline.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense for Amazon to do it because they have the Kindle. They have, you know, all these devices, tablets and stuff that they make, that they sell. So it makes sense for Amazon Video to be
Right,
able
but
to
it
do
makes
that.
sense for Netflix too because they.
Right, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense for Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, it makes more sense for Amazon to have done it first. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
fair enough.
All
That's a
right.
good point. So, and
Oh, shit,
I don't have the exact list of everything that they're offering right now, or Netflix at least,
Right.
offering for downloads, but there's a lot of Netflix exclusives, like the shows. So you have like Stranger Things, you have Orange is the New Black, you have all like your favorite Amazon originals, as well as some movies. Okay, so let's read it off right now. So Stranger Things, The Office,
Yeah, these are TV shows, by
Parks
the way.
and Rec, Breaking Bad, Gossip Girl, Friday Night Lights, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, The Crown, Narcos, Making of a Murderer, 30 Rock, Star Trek, any series,
Oh, shit.
and The It Crowd.
Oh, I love that show. If you that It Crowd, oh man.
And then for the movies, Pulp Fiction, Hot Fuzz, Jaws, Love Actually, and The Imitation Game.
Oh, I like The
Fantastic.
Imitation Game with,
Awesome. So you got an
Benedict
awesome list
Cumberbatch.
right out of the gate
Yeah.
that you can download. As long as you have Netflix and you want to take movies and TV shows on the go, that's what you'll be able to do starting now. But they want to get, like
They're
the
gonna
whole
get
catalog.
more. Absolutely.
They want to
They're
get the whole
gonna get more.
catalog out, on board with that, but that's going to take time because I'm assuming a lot of people are going to be utilizing this feature because it's a fantastic feature. I'm fully on
Right.
board with that.
We just want to throw out a caveat there that this is not an all-inclusive list. This is just probably the most popular movies and TV shows that are going to be on there. I just popped on a random website real quick and looked up the list. Here we go.
We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it.
Don't need it? Okay.
No, we don't need it.
All right, Supernatural's on there.
Zed's dead, baby.
Whose bike is, or whose motorcycle is this? It's
chopper,
not a motorcycle,
baby.
it's a chopper.
It's a chopper. Yeah.
But Zed's dead, baby. Get the gimp. He's sleeping.
Wake
him up.
Wake him up.
All right. So, I got some good Pulp Fiction references in there.
Yeah, that's good.
A little bit outside of the normal Pulp Fiction references, which I like. I don't like the whole, say what, or does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? That whole scene is probably the most quoted part. But
Does he look like a bitch, though?
no, he's bald and black, and does he look like a bitch? Why are you trying to fuck him like a bitch,
Why are you
Brett?
trying to fuck him like a bitch?
What does Marcellus Wallace? Anyway, so moving on, Ubisoft.
Yes, this is huge. I want to talk about this one.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
You got this one, man. I believe in you.
So I am all on board with cross-platform anything, be it console and PC or iOS and Android, or right now Ubisoft is talking about doing what they would really like to do is cross-platform VR games. So bridging the gap between PlayStation VR and Oculus and the Vive, and being able to have, because VR is still kind of a new thing and it's still an expensive piece of technology, and PSVR is the most affordable and it's the easiest one to get, but there's still a lot of people out there playing the Vive and the Oculus. But to unify that platform, you're building the numbers of people that you can play with, because right now, if you're just playing with people that have PlayStation VR,
Not a lot of
it's
people.
limited, right? Because
Right.
we've tried playing Valkyrie online, and it's hard to find people to play with. That's why we normally play with bots, not because we fucking suck at the game, but
not an
because
easy game.
but it's because it's hard to find people to play with, because there's not a lot of people that own it yet. So Ubisoft right now, they have Star Trek Bridge Crew in development for PSVR, and I don't know if it's out on the other VRs yet, but it's definitely in development.
It is definitely out on Oculus.
Slated for a January release on PlayStation VR. Looks phenomenal. You can become the captain or helmsman, weapons officer, or one other bridge portion in Star Trek. So you can be on like an actual like Star Trek starship and command it with 3 other people. And that seems so fucking cool to me, and everything that I've read and all the other like trailers and gameplay videos that I've seen of the game, it looks so fucking awesome.
When we were in LA doing E3, they had the Oculus was doing the Bridge Crew thing, and they had a guy that was like hosting it. They had it on a big stage. Everybody was in their little stations and all that. They actually built a stage for it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they had the guy with the microphone talking so the crowd can hear what he's saying, and he was demanding that the engineer talk with a Scottish accent, and he was making everybody kind of do Star Trek type stuff, and
awesome.
that was really kind of funny. Like the comm person, had them put their ear or their finger up to their ear when they would say, "Oh, we got an incoming transmission from some Romulan dickbag." It was fun. Like he made it really fun.
That's so cool though, man, because that's my dream.
Yeah.
And like the best thing about VR for me is just being like within that world, like living in that world and being in that world that you've never been able to be in before, and be somewhere that you've never been able to be before. Because it's like, going and playing The Last of Us, that's awesome. You get to be somewhat immersed in that story, but it's more like story driven, not like immersion driven.
Right. So what you're saying is that games like The Last of Us are the narrative is already there.
Yes.
Right. But when you are talking about a lot of VR games, you write your own narrative.
You create the narrative.
Exactly, because it becomes your reality.
Yes.
So,
that's exactly right. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
That was very elegant.
Yeah. No problem.
Eloquent.
Man. Yeah, I think my Adderall just kicked in.
That's good.
Have we seen Squatch Tendo?
Squanch Tendo. Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
I'm assuming you're talking about the Nintendo Classic. Unless Squanch Tendo is something else, in which case I have no idea.
Yeah,
Either way, no. No, I'm sorry. Out of context, I haven't.
Is Valkyrie good?
Yes.
I play Elite Dangerous, but that game feels more like a space truck simulator. Now,
Kind of.
I have played Elite Dangerous quite a bit.
Scott loves it.
I love Elite Dangerous.
He loves it.
Now, imagine Elite Dangerous is probably like advanced placement chemistry, right? You're in high school and you're taking some of those AP courses that are like super freaking hard because you want to get into a good school, right? And then you've got E Valkyrie over here, which is basically like all the special ed kids, you know, that can barely read. And no, okay, that's actually a bad.
Don't say that, man.
That's bad. So anyway, no, it's like an arcadey version of Elite Dangerous. Except it is not open world. It is a arcade team deathmatch. Okay, think of Elite Dangerous Arena. Okay?
There you go. Perfect.
Think of Elite Dangerous Arena, but it is less skills, less planning, less math, that sort of thing. It's a very user friendly, very kind of easy